Hi Dr. Berg, this is Anastasia and Simon, making video from London. We thought this would be a nice way of communicating with you. We didn't know how to else reach out to you, and we wanted just to have a friendly chat about some ideas we had around what you do and what we do. So, without further ado, some of the stuff about us.
Yeah, here's some stuff about us. We are both digital designers living and consulting and working in London. We are both product designers, so we focus mainly on digital design, helping large organizations kind of reinterpret their old products and kind of bring them up to date with a focus on user and the customer's experience. So yeah, we're both doing that kind of independently in large organizations, helping them make more money.
No, but in reality, we make the user experience better.
Exactly.
For the end users.
We make the user experience better. We do that indeed, yes. And for the last couple of years, as Anastasia said, we've been looking at our nutrition and working to improve our health. We did that by we were training a lot, and we found keto, and we were.
This is our journey, actually, by the way.
Yeah.
So we started like in the training a lot, and we're really unhappy because we're still putting on weight, right?
Yeah, we were training really hard, like 4 times a week. And we were randomly getting like bigger. We weren't really thinking too much about our diet or what we were eating, but for some reason we were kind of like putting on weight rather than kind of getting lean and ripped, which we were both kind of
yeah.
was our goal. So then we started looking into our nutrition. We found the keto diet. We did a lot of reading and listened to podcasts and kind of bought loads of crazy products that we probably didn't need, like MCT oils and powdered fat and God knows what else. And we jumped on it to start with without too much knowledge, so we did a lot of learning on the go, and then we kind of completely forgot about our nutrition and green stuff, and
so we're eating lots of fat, basically.
yeah, we're eating
lots
of
fat.
Yeah. So we experienced all of the potential side effects, which was great fun for a good few months, and spent some considerable time screaming at each other. Then we kind of, through our process of continuing to search and find out what the solutions were and why things weren't working, we found your work, and we were super impressed because you were able to articulate things and explain things in a very clear and concise manner, and that was really, really helpful for us. And we realised at that point we'd completely forgotten about our nutrition, vegetables and minerals and electrolytes and potassium and all of these other good things you recommend. So
so we actually are at the end of this journey right now, and we sort of discovered new, obviously, problems, such as tracking all of the food that we should eat, minerals that we need, different body types that we have, and what kind of food we should be eating, because obviously we're different people, so cooking together and eating together always needs to be taken into account, that differences that we potentially might have. But we wanted to show you some of the applications that we used when doing keto.
Yeah, and still are kind of,
that we're still using, just to give you an idea of what we thought for you as a maybe potential solution. So one of them is Headspace, which is a great application that we use to stay calm and not to go crazy, especially when the first adaptation time came. I personally really struggled with depression and anxiety, so that really helped me. Another one is Zero App that you use a lot, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, I love this. It's really simple. Like, it's a great example of a kind of really intuitive modern day app. There's kind of like the focus around one thing, which is just tracking your fast. So you just press the big start fast button in the middle, and then it will give you a kind of countdown to the hours to the end of your fast, which you can set independently, and then you've got kind of tracking of the fasted hours over the week, which is great. It's like really simple and easy to use.
Yeah, so those are two applications that we absolutely love, but so like I said, we still on keto have, although we are kind of like understanding what we're doing, we still have a couple of problems. So we challenge doing keto together, understanding our different body types and the differences in food that we each need. It's tough for us to find great keto recipes that include the correct vegetables for both of our body types. Tracking symptoms is something that is I find really challenging, because every time I have a problem with something like a tick in my eye or dry skin, I need to research again. So it's like I need to spend time rediscovering it. So that's not the best. You're remembering to reorder supplements. Yeah, so we usually reorder them one day when we run out. And understanding best way to get back into keto if we've eaten something sweet, which happens often, sadly, but we're working on it. So we'd like to understand more about that for ourselves. So what we thought would be a good idea is to create application with you and your wife that basically would become our keto companion. So it will help us in a much easier way do all of the things that we just mentioned that we have problems with. So the main thing about the application we thought should be the idea of creating your profile with your recipes, your issue fixes, so you can quickly access things that reoccur and like happen over and over again, such as, like I said, dry skin or itchy legs, whatever it is. You can have it saved together with the saved products. So just to cover what ideas we had, and obviously this is all like high level. Application that will allow you to discover body types, have healthy recipes, have access to all of the symptoms. You can have daily content, paid or unpaid content, because I know you mentioned subscription through Facebook groups, but maybe this will be alternative way for those people who don't actually enjoy using Facebook. This application could be a great solution for those who prefer using applications, which, for instance, we use a lot, subscriptions applications. And they're great, so maybe that's another way for you to access your funds. And obviously you will be able to create a profile. Like I said, that is the biggest point of this application, to be able to track your progress, your things like your products, supplements and so on, your weight, your body type, but also your family, so you can add people to this profile. Because, for instance, if I cook for me and Simon, it would be useful for me to have him also in the app, so I can quickly check and remind myself what vegetables and what things I should add, for example, to his salad, but not so much to my salad. That would be super helpful. A couple of other screens, obviously, like I mentioned, discovering your body type, overview of different body types and different vegetables that are good for different body types, using your amazing imagery that we found obviously online and is available in book that you Simon read. Cool, so what are we saying here?
So these are just kind of ideas and some concepts, and we just sort of throw them out there off of kind of our own experiences and a potential product that we kind of might like to use. That isn't the full process. When we go into an organisation, there's always kind of a bit of research that we kind of encourage companies to do, and that's to take some time to really understand their users and customers, and through kind of speaking to customers on a one-on-one basis, you kind of are able to pull together some key kind of personas, so like some kind of an individual who's kind of like a character, but they represent kind of a massive section of your audience. So you might end up with like 1, 2, maybe 3 people, and then that kind of research lays the foundation for you to move forward with developing an application, because they kind of will always look back to those personas to kind of know that we're on the right tracks, and we can kind of test and iterate prototypes and kind of evolve the concept and the solution before kind of going into build and spending a lot of money. I know you mentioned before that you have spent a lot of money on building an application, and it can be a black hole for finance if you kind of aren't able to kind of confirm that you're on the right track. So prototyping and testing and iterating on the product is something that we kind of do regularly as part of our kind of workflow for other organizations, and it's something that we would absolutely love to help you with, to create a product that really works for you and many other people who are looking to kind of improve their lives through a natural way without medication. So yeah, this is kind of like high level. We said like 6 to 12 months, you know, that things can flex and change, but it's kind of, it gives you some idea. There's like a research phase, then we go into kind of testing. We're looking at like designing, wireframing, iterating, communicating with our users, and then kind of comes into building, and there's various different ways of building a product before kind of like launching. But yeah, this is kind of give you an example of like the actual process you would go through. We've changed some designs here to say it could potentially be this. Doesn't mean to say that that is the right thing. You definitely want to validate and test any of that stuff. But you also have a ton of knowledge. You and Karen both will be able to tell us what are some of the key things that your clients and customers are struggling with. So yeah,
so this is obviously like Simon said, really high level. We love working on the digital solutions, so we would be honored, I think, to be able to work with you.
We love working on digital solutions, but we would love even more to be working on some products that we feel really passionate and excited about and believe in. And outside of work, we've just been head first into your work. We read your books. We have a cupboard full of your products. We're waiting for some more of your products to come, and your massage thing. But we're in London, so it takes a while to get here.
That's right. So we also thought about the future, where we could go, you know, from day one. Digital products are never finished, so in the future you could use, you know, things like artificial intelligence to actually talk to your users. So, you know, sometimes I wake up and I feel really, really bad, and I don't know why, and I sometimes forget what I need to do or what I need to take to get me going. So that would be amazing if I just could get up and just say to my phone, hey, I'm feeling really sort of under the weather today, and that sort of application could interact with me and sort of give me some ideas of how to start my day so I feel slightly better. So, you know, like have 5 minutes of jogging or skipping, get some apple cider vinegar, and could track my sort of eating habits and all that kind of things. So sort of like becomes your real companion and your sort of friend in this keto journey.
Yeah, I think there's no limits to where something like this could go. Like there's the kind of plugging into other software, which is tracking things like your sleeping, heart rate and movement. There's even like the potential of integration with other like hardware. I've got a kind of Fitbit scales, and I regularly jump on that. That's sort of synced with my phone. I get a sort of tracker on my Fitbit, so I can see over the last 2 years the scale of my weight kind of going up while we were training it, and then dropping as we've got into keto. So we, you know, there's like endless places on where to go, and that's like going back to the research thing, why that becomes so important, because it can kind of steer where's most important to go first, and going to kind of bring in the most value to your users and followers.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, hopefully we did bore you so this was really high level. We, like I said, we love to work with you and your wife. You're doing an amazing job, and you helped us and our family.
Yeah, we're trying really hard to help our family. You've done an amazing job with your mum. My mum's slightly more challenging, but we're getting there, and we're using support. So we'd love to be able to help and kind of further your knowledge and that word with the world on how to live healthily and happily, really. Yeah.
Cool. So if that sounds like something you would like to consider, please drop us an email. We can have like a Skype call, FaceTime call, whatever.
Whatever works.
We can explain in more details what we can do, obviously. Anyways, but either way, we love what you're doing, so please keep doing it. And we love your work, and we're big fans. And lots of love from London.
Yeah, and Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.